I thought I had the perfect job, the perfect life, the perfect husband, but I wasn't happy. And if you look at your story, it's a similar thing. You had amazing, like you were on Broadway, like how you can't even top that. Tell me about how that felt to sit in a place where you realized that you weren't happy, even though on the outside you had everything.
Mm. Well, it happened really soon. It was 3 weeks after my Broadway debut. It was the saddest I had ever been. And I had been deep in the I'll be happy when syndrome. Really since fourth grade, I started studying voice and dance and acting at 8 years old, and then did it all day, every day until I graduated from college, and then moved to New York and got really lucky. I got my first show, like my second day there. And so, but 3 weeks after my first Broadway show, it was like, oh, the thing I thought was going to make me happy, like here I was, I got it. And then I was miserable because I realized at a pretty young age, I was more interested in the happiness of pursuit than I was the pursuit of happiness. And so it was like I forgot to set another goal. So I just thought next show, next boyfriend, next zero in the bank account. And I did that for a decade. And then it wasn't until my last show where I had a really intense job, and the stress and anxiety led to like insomnia and going gray and getting sick and injured. And then I found this practice, and it really changed everything. It cured my insomnia on the first day. I stopped going gray. I didn't get injured. I didn't get sick for 8.5 years. And so I was like, why is everyone not doing this?
Yes.
Left Broadway, went to India, and then started a 3-year training process to teach this. And to be honest, like when I first went to India, I just thought I was going to deepen my own practice. When I first started teaching, I thought it'd be a cute side job, like when I wasn't, was in between shows. And then just bit by bit, nature was making it more and more obvious, like where she wanted to use me. And it was like the deeper I committed, the more of nature's support I got. And so it's been a really exciting ride.
That is the most beautiful journey, isn't it? And, I know we're both Abraham Hicks lovers, and she taught me that it's the journey. Enjoy the journey. It's not about the destination. Feel into the journey. And when I first found you through Mark Hyman, I'd walk along and my children would point out, oh, look at that. Oh, that wasn't there yesterday. And I was like, wasn't it? And it was like I was in some just cloud of not being able to observe anything. And now I hear, I smell, I taste. So it's completely different to the journey, like how I found you and then where I am now. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's interesting because stress by design dampens our sense of taste and smell and touch and sight. Because if you think about it, that adrenaline and cortisol is helping you to prepare for a tiger attack. So your nerve endings like deaden. Like nobody wants to feel the fangs as they're piercing the jugular. So it's like it has an anesthetic effect. It's numbing you.
Wow.
And so when you start to get rid of that stress, it's like you're quite literally pulling the lens. There's this beautiful line from the Vedas which says that the truth waits for eyes unclouded by longing. The truth waits for eyes unclouded by longing. And what we're doing when we meditate is that we're unclouding our lens. And that's happening very viscerally and physically, where your food tastes better, sex feels better. My sense of smell is like a bit of a problem, actually. In New York City, I'm like a bloodhound. I can smell everything. And like, I don't know, I should get one of those jobs of like being a sommelier or something, but because I can tell when people are sick from my nose.
Yes.
I can tell like, a block away. So your senses do very much get heightened. So my New York City smell is not I should be talking about the sex piece of it, because it's like, also your sense of touch, right? It's like that gets more sensitive, and that can be really beautiful. So yeah. And my son is the same, like he's 3 and we rode the bus to school last week, and he was like, you can do so many things on this bus. You can stand up, you can sit down, you can look out the window. It's going so fast. And I was like, Yeah. And it reminded me of Abraham Hicks, who's like, how many times today can you feel satisfied? And like, he's in such a state of wonder. He's so satisfied by what is. He is constantly giving thanks for what is. And if you can genuinely and authentically get yourself into that state of enthusiastic gratitude for what is, which the meditation helps with extraordinarily because you're getting out of fight or flight, and your baseline level is dopamine and serotonin, then it's just a few clicks away into enthusiastic gratitude for what's on the way. And so I think a lot of people are trying to put the vision board on top of the I suck, I suck, I suck narrative. And then it's like, we don't believe that we deserve our dreams. And then it creates even more dissonance. And so it's like, step one, we have to feel good now, right? Yeah. We have to get into the state right now and then plant the seeds for the desires.
Your beautiful quote, your happiness does not lie on the other side of any other place, person, or thing. It exists in one place, in you, and in one time, and that is now. This is beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, it's the truth. It's here and now, and here and now, and here and now. And the thing is, all of us have convinced ourselves, and the advertising industry and everyone selling you anything has convinced you that you will be happy on the other side of blank.
Yes.
And the reality is, it's always only ever here. It's always only ever now.
Yes.
And if you don't have the ability to access it right here, right now, it's not coming on the other side of a zero, or the other side of a boyfriend, or the other side of getting pregnant, or the other side of 1 million followers on Instagram, because then you're just going to want 2 million followers, or, so it's like the brain is always, it's like, how do we find the satisfaction? Yes. How do we find the joy in the pursuit? And that is what meditation has done for me, because I was certainly, I was knee deep in that.
Yes.
And I had been since I was a child.
Keep reaching to feel better, because the world needs you to feel good so you can share that very special gift that only you have. And if you want more, check out my next video here.